here are a few things that really worked for me in terms of how to start your minimalism journey. First up, make sure that you're never buying cheap substitutes and products. You may feel that in effect you're spending less, but over a period of time, of course, it adds up, and you will then go on to a shopping website and buy more than you've actually gone to buy a cheap substitute of the product, and then you will actually find yourself looking at many other products and of course be tempted to buy that. So make sure that you always buy good quality products which you know are going to last you longer. In my case, I know that my devices, whether it's my phone, whether it's my Mac, or whether it's my iPad, these actually aid my productivity, help me work much faster. So I will most definitely be indulgent about it than trying to cut corners there. Next up is always analyze your spends. And I use this app called Money Manager. So make sure that you analyze your spends and see what are you really spending on, right? And if you're not doing that, it's going to be very tricky. So here is what I would recommend. Do is that every single transaction, and especially now when we are feeding in so many transactions through Google Pay, Paytm, it becomes so complicated and very difficult to track that how much are we spending where. What I do is every single day, whenever I make a payment, I go ahead and clock that in the Money Manager app. And then in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or at the end of the month, whenever I want to, I make sure that I track what am I spending on and which is the medium which I'm spending most on. Okay, you will see that, okay, if I'm spending maximum on food, I'm spending on kids' education, I'm spending on kids' classes, I'm spending on shopping apps, I'm spending on food deliveries, whatever the case may be. Now here is a very important part that you will need to make sure that you follow and map. One is to know what you're spending on and know those broad categories. Now here is a very important hack I'll share with you. At the beginning of the year, make sure that you are writing down what goals are important to you. Hypothetically, it could be more productive, it could be travel, it could be read more, it could be fitness, whatever the case may be. Now map your expense categories to the categories that you're goal setting on. If you are not spending adequate amount on subscription apps or coaches that are help you going to get fitter, which is your goal, then you need to realign your expense. Next step is if you feel like you're not traveling enough. Of course, travel is a very subjective thing at this point in time, but if you feel like you're not spending enough on experiences and travel, and that is actually your goal, maybe you need to relook at it. For us as a family, food, health, wellness is a very big part of our lives. So a large part of my expenses are based on food and health and organic products, so it aligns with my goal. So please do this exercise, and whenever you do it, I would love to see your Money Manager screenshot. So most definitely do tag me on Instagram. Here's another hack. I know as women, we are obsessed with shopping. New trends, new earrings, new bags, new clothes, new shoes. We are always obsessed with stuff like that. And of course, the Instagram ads, the Google ads, they really don't help. They stalk you till you are almost tempted to buy, right? But there are 3 things I'm going to share with you. One up, make sure that you don't impulsively buy it. Make sure that you always wait on it for at least a week or 10 days till those Instagram ads or Google ads stalk you, and that makes you actually realize, do I love it or do I like it? If you just like it and you don't love it, don't buy it. Make sure that you actually go on a shopping binge. But here's the twist. You go to your favorite shopping site, and this actually works well only on online, but make sure that you're going onto your favorite shopping app and adding everything that you want, like just about everything that you want, and you add to cart. And then when it's time to actually buy, you quit. Now, I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but it works. The shopping is what is therapeutic to us, and you've already indulged with that. So it really works. Try it. When I go on these long spells of minimalism, of not buying things for almost a year, Trust me, this therapy really helps. It's almost like window shopping, right? You're going to a mall then, but you try stuff or you look at things, but you're not actually buying. This is how you window shop online. I always like to buy things coordinating or knowing that whether I have more of the same or not. So if I know that I'm hypothetically buying this kurta, I'm already planning what can I wear this kurta, and do I have a similar, say, Leria kurta or a pink kurta, or what else can I pair this with, right? And what I, it's crazy it may sound, but I have a Pinterest board of all my bags and all my shoes and all my jewelry. So I know exactly what clothes are going to match with what. And if I have more of the same, or when I've discarded it, I've actually discarded that item altogether, and I know that, okay, this is not going to really match and it's not going to be paired with something, so it may not be that great a buy. Try this and let me know if this really works for you. Next up, a very important rule for minimalism is to make sure you can see what you own. Okay, I cannot emphasize how important this is, because if you cannot see what you own and it's shoved somewhere at the back, there is no way that you are going to be able to effectively use it. Now, I make sure that all my jewelry is in trays that I can see. All my clothes are kept up front, either stacked or in boxes, or they're hung, all my trousers and all of that. So I know what I own. All the shoes that I own, if they do not make it to the front shelf of where I choose my shoes from, or from the shoe rack, then it's very hard for me to know what to wear when, right? Or sometimes you'll be like, oh, did I even own this? Like, I didn't even know I had it. So if you want to avoid that, make sure that, again, you create either Pinterest boards of the shoes and the accessories that you have. So when you're actually planning what you want to wear, or just in the morning, I picked up these, I had bought these like, I think 10 years ago from Jaipur or somewhere that I'd gone, but I could see this today because it was up front in my jewelry tray and I could actually pick out and wear it. So this one to me is the number one rule of minimalism, where you can see what you own and you can, of course, try and mix and match it. Next up, I would say, is make sure that you also find healthy substitute and swaps for things, right? So example, every time you feel like shopping and you're like, oh, I need to do it, and the add to cart, abandoned cart syndrome doesn't work for you, try this. Every time you feel like, say, buying a dress, can you buy either a sustainable dress that's more environment friendly, or you substitute it to something that's completely different, which is you go shopping on buying food or grocery items that are healthy, or you sign up for a reading program or a membership or a fitness program, or sign up for a personal trainer, something that is from your goal list for that year. Because that is very important, because then that urge of shopping is satiated and you will feel a lot better. So these are a few of the tips that have actually really helped me. And also, I think last but not the least, I would conclude is make sure that you're okay with repeats. The minute you embrace that it's okay for me to repeat, because I'm not spoiling the environment by dumping, I'm not buying more than what I need, I can see what I own, it'll make a world of a difference. And I think that really helps. And I think last part that I would add is feel free to borrow. There are so many times that I borrow from my mom, I borrow from my sisters, I borrow from friends, and it works brilliantly. So it is absolutely okay to do that. And when you buy, like I said, always buy and invest in good pieces, in pieces that are always aligned to your goal. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then make sure that you tag us every time you follow a hack or a tip on Instagram. It's at mansi.zaveri and at kids.press. And of course, if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe. The bell icon is right there.